If you'd said near the middle to end of February that in another 2 or 3 weeks we would have all been sent home and the world would have stopped for almost 8 weeks, none of us would have said that was going to happen. And yet here we are 8 weeks later where exactly that happened. On March 13th, everything stopped. We went home and we began the isolation from COVID and what it meant to business, what it meant to our personal lives. And I think this week it's really important for all of us. I've been saying to people, I think it's important we step back and have a look at what's gone on in the last 8 weeks. What's it meant to my family? What's it meant to me personally? What's it meant to my friends? Many people have lost their jobs. Many people have been laid off. Those that are still working have put in long hours and are starting to learn how to use Zoom and how to work from home and manage family activities and work activities throughout the day. I think coming into this long weekend, it's going to be really important for all of us to step back and reflect on what's happened in the last 8 weeks. If you're looking for work right now, what does that look like and what's the strategy you need to have moving forward till you get a new job? If you're still working, what's the strategy you need to have to get through this current situation we're in and working from home? And what's your strategy when you go back to work? How are we going to physical distance on subways? How are we going to physical distance going into the office? We can't go to concerts this summer. We're not going to sporting events. A lot of the things that we just took for granted, 3 months ago are going to change. And so my hope is that the human condition steps forward and we, instead of the polarizing we've seen, start to come together and we collaborate. And all these great minds we have in Canada and other parts of the world start to look at what's the vaccine we need to get. How are we going to manage socially moving forward over the next 6 months and into next year? How do we continue to be successful with business? I think around families, it's been really interesting for me, the number of families that have said, we've had more dinners around the dining room table than we've had in a long, long time, and we don't want to lose that. We've been going at 100 miles an hour as a family, and we want to stop that. I think it's important to be active, but it's important to have that family time. I think from a business standpoint, we're settled into now the current situation. What are we going to do to be successful? What are we doing to be successful through the balance of 2020? And what's success going to look like in 2021? We can't go back to the old ways. And I think one of the reasons to step back and reflect over this week and into the long weekend is, I think from a mental health standpoint, there's going to be lots of challenges after COVID for many, many folks as they try and deal with what's happened. Because we can't go back to the old way. We've got to understand what the new way looks like and how we evolve through the next period of time and then into the newness that's going to come out of COVID at the end of this year and into next year. So as we're managing that, how do we deal with that? And I think for many of us is taking stock right now to step back and say, how am I doing? How's my family doing? How's my friends doing and those around me? And what are we doing to make sure we all move forward in a way that works for all of us, that is healthy, that helps us be successful, and what our definition as a family and as in business is success going to look like coming into the next several years. So for all of you, take some time to step back. Take some time and enjoy this long weekend coming up, and take some time to understand what do I need to do moving forward and what's success going to look like for myself and my family as we move into the end of 2020 and into 2021.